guys, it's Lavender here. Welcome back to my channel. It's Lavender here, and today I want to talk about a story time that happened to me. Basically, my apartment horror story. So yeah, and let's get started. Here we go. So I moved into this apartment complex basically right before I graduated, maybe a year or two, or at the most 3 years before I graduated high school. I don't remember exactly. All I know is I moved to this apartment before I graduated, and this apartment complex, like, I really liked it just because at the time, I did not like the basically house we lived in. The house is like 2-bedroom, but it was really tiny bedrooms, an average sized living room. The kitchen was basically the same size as either the bedrooms or the kitchen. It was like 800 square feet. It was way too small, personally, for me. Like, it was just a mess. Like, there was like a dust problem. Like every single time I'd be in the house, I'd get allergies extremely bad and stuff. So yeah, and I lived there until basically, I don't remember exactly why. After that, I moved. And I moved into my new apartment. But, you know, I should have noticed some red flags, because I moved into the apartment, and the apartment was like, the apartment had like a racist name. It was, you know, like, the name that, that Native Americans, you know, like indigenous people were named after. It was a racist apartment. It had a racist apartment name, and basically an insensitive name, basically racist name. And I moved into it, but when me and my mom moved into it, there was a bunch of problems to it. Everything fell apart. They had these really mega potholes. They were huge, like really huge, like at least like this much. Like, it was like huge, like this, like where my hand, like my fingers are, like right here. That's how big the potholes were. It was like extremely big, honestly. The potholes were awful. The road work was awful. We had this carport which we had a car in, and it collapsed like twice. Like one of the leg, you know, thing that holds up the carport, that collapsed at least twice, you know, at the most, and it almost hit someone's car, and they're blaming us for not like telling anyone this happened, but it's their responsibility because they don't do updates to the apartment. They stay in this shitty like basically cabin apartment, you know, like apartment like situation, like as in like the office area. Like, they didn't do anything. It's their responsibility. I don't know why they're blaming us for it when it happened more than once, you know. And I think they're trash because, like, everything fell apart. Like, everything from basically the road, you know, the road had mega potholes. The carport kept falling apart multiple times, at least twice. Our apartment, like the stairs legit broke when like the cable guy, you know, came up to our apartment to fix it. He fixed it, and then when he went downstairs, like the stairs, like the concrete, it like broke, like it like basically caved and it broke, and he almost fell down the stairs. So that happened, and like there's multiple stairs on like the apartment I was on that lead to our apartment. Like, when I lived at that apartment, like, they were ready to break, like, water damage and, like, weather damage, because, like, weather plus water, you know, like, you know how, like, if there's concrete and ice freezes between the concrete and it breaks up and stuff, that's what happened. The cable guy almost fell down the stairs. If you don't know, I explained this stuff on my Twitter, and a Twitter post before on my Twitter, at @iLoveAndBlush on Twitter. I explained that, and, yeah. The garbage disposal broke. They said they were going to send someone up. They never sent anyone up. Like a few weeks before the coronavirus, you know, outbreak, you know, like pandemic happened, me and my mom, like, were struggling and stuff. We tried to pay bills and stuff, and they legit, like, when we didn't pay rent in time, they'd legit slam on the door, like, pounding to the point where this time they're going to knock over the door multiple times. That happened at least, like, 7 times the whole entire time, like, towards the end when we're there. They'd just pound on the door. We're like I have high anxiety. I've suffered from anxiety and depression, and one of the things that basically, what's it called when you like give you an anxiety attack or whatever, like a phobia or anxiety attack, like people who slam on the door like this, or like knock on the door, like it gives me really severe anxiety. And like I don't know, like they kept slamming on the door, and then if you didn't open up the door, they'd like come in anyway. Like they never announced that they were like there. They just try to like come in. Like for example, like I was one time in my like lingerie, and they tried like they they like slammed the door like this, like knocking like severely and hard and stuff. And they tried to come in, like even though I was there in my like underwear, they didn't bother like to announce themselves. They would just knock on the door severely and try to come in and put something on the door. Like that's one of the reasons I moved, because I started getting depressed, because it would just that apartment complex gave me anxiety and stuff, because they'd constantly slam at the door like a fucking like serial killer trying to break into like a house. It was just really hard, honestly, because like I'm not used to people slamming on the door. I mean, they legit slam, like body slam, like really hard, like fists like pounding on the door and stuff, and it was just awful, honestly. Like on top of that, like everything since we've gotten the apartment has been breaking down. Like when I first like went to the apartment, their garbage pails were broke, their cabinets broke, the what's it called, the countertop was outdated, the toilets didn't work that well, the tile floor was underdeveloped, like it wasn't like updated, like the balcony was fucked up too. Like the potholes are so big to the point where like you can like actually like damage your car. Like at least had to be like you know, like this big. Like this is how big the potholes were. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. Like they didn't update anything. I swear, but like I don't remember exactly, but it was like this really weather. It wasn't like hurricanes or anything. It was like it wasn't tornadoes either. It was like what's it called? Really bad weather, and like at least 1/3 of the fence on one side was not completely over onto someone else's property and stuff. And they legit didn't clean it up until recently. I don't have any footage of this happening because I had to move out really quickly. Moved out before that. I didn't get any footage of it, but by the time I wanted to take footage of it, they really like repaired it and stuff. It took them a legit over a year and a half to